righty then. Welcome everybody into a Friday edition of the Rant, live from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E Gallery in Dallas's Design District. I am Pugs Moran. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, noonish, right around noon. Although I don't believe there's been a show this week that has started within 10 minutes of the noon hour. But we do what we can every day, Monday through Friday, going on 3 years now. Excuse me. It is allergy season. I have to apologize for that. What is this? It's talk radio. It's talk radio the way you can't find anywhere else in this great grand nation of ours. From coast to coast, all you get are sports talkers and political talkers. Well, I started doing talk radio in this great country, city of Chicago by name, in 1992. That's where I began. And we used to be allowed to do other things other than just talk about who you voted for and why you're bad for that. Or, hey, let's talk about spread defenses or spread offenses. See, I don't even know. Anyway, my argument is this. Regular old-time radio that folks like me and maybe you used to enjoy is changed. They don't do any talk radio for normal people. It's all sports dorks and political partisan weirdos. One of the contentions that I maintain throughout this show is that this show is for normal people. Okay? If you enjoy this show, you're probably normal. If you don't enjoy this show, then, we like to say there's a problem in this country, and that problem is that 30% of us are gone. They're over the moon. We're never getting them back. 15% on the right, gone. They're nuts. They think JFK Jr. is still alive. You know, those people. They're gone. 15% on the left, they're gone. That leaves 70% of us. 70% of us normal people. We vote differently. We live in different parts of the country. We might even see the world through very different lenses. But you know what? Push comes to shove, we can stand peacefully in line together at an airport. Okay? That's the 70% that this show is for, normal Americans. Who don't we want listening? And who don't we want streaming? I don't want anybody who's ever been kicked off an airplane and then gone viral. If you've gone viral because you couldn't maintain normalcy on an airplane, you can't listen to this show. Don't want it. Don't want it. If you've ever been arrested at a Target or a Walmart because you got a problem with like a display or something that another shopper is wearing, you're not allowed to be in this show, okay? You're not allowed to listen, tune in. You're not even allowed to donate. I'll send your money back. You're a weirdo. You're one of the weird Americans that we don't want to do talk radio for. We do talk radio for people who are still invited to their families' Thanksgivings. If you have been banned from family gatherings, we don't want you here on this show. Now that we've set the ground rules and we understand who this show is for, let's say hi to some of the regulars. We got Byron. He's hanging out. I tell you, Byron tests those rules. I imagine security has been called on Byron in a Target. I don't know that he's been arrested, but we got Jeff. He's the Emperor of Iowa. We got Cece. Look at Cece. Sports Bras. We got Barney. Who else we got? That's me. Hi, host. I'm checking in. Peter's here. Peter was first in today. Why is the chat room slow? Why do we have a slow chat room today? We seem a little bit shorter. We're short on people, if you will. All right, so this is a stream of consciousness talk show. I don't have any co-hosts. I don't take any commercial breaks. I'm not going to play any music for you. It's just going to be me, a narcissistic middle-aged man sitting here screaming into a camera for 2 hours nonstop. Can you handle it? That's a little much. It's a big ask, I know. But here's what I promise. I'm going to give you everything you need to know about today. Everything, whatever it is, sports, entertainment, news, pop culture, what's trending, what celebrities are doing stupid shit. And yeah, we'll talk about some regular old news. We'll get you the big stories, the top stories, but we don't get into the politics. We don't get into the partisan breakdowns. We don't do any of that stuff. The show does, as I say, it's performed as a stream of consciousness, but it plays out in 4 quarters, 4 different segments that at the end of, you should have a pretty good working knowledge of what this day is. Quarter 1, we call it antecedently on this day. It's this day in history. Quarter 2 is birthdays, just famous people who were born on this day. Do we like them? Happy birthday. Or do we just tell them to shut up? Quarter 3 is deads, people who died on this day. We look at their life. We're like, what are they known for? Where do you think they went? That's the question. Where'd they go? They died on this day. They go to heaven or they go to hell. We stand in judgment or sit, depending. I'm sitting. If you're ever given the choice to stand or sit, I think I'm always going to sit. Would you like to stand or sit? I'm going to sit. I think I'll sit. Can I put my feet up? Can I lay down? Actually, how far can we take this? Because I'd like to lay down. I'll lay down right here on the floor. And then you go ahead. You just tell me what you need to tell me. Quarter four, hot topics, everything, hot topics, trends, headlines, whatever it is people are screaming about. Okay, so that's how the show plays out. We do need to mention this. The show runs on your gratuities. This is a tip-driven show, 3 years worth of it. This is all I do, folks. You people need to support this, and if you don't, we go away. We haven't for 3 years because of good people like today's executive producer. That's right. We're bringing back our executive producer. If you are the biggest tipper on the previous day, the next show, you are the executive producer. Today's executive producer. Thank you so much to Leslie C. Appreciate you, Leslie. One of the core people that have kept this show afloat. If you yourself are interested in any way, shape, or form of ensuring that this show continues for another month, if you're so inclined, please drop a little something right there. Venmo, Cash App, whatever. That's how we do it. Okay. Gotten all that stuff out of the way. Mikey D's in the chat room. He's saying howdy. Everybody say howdy back to Mikey D in the chat room. Barney says, Byron is a reasonable man, but we live in an unreasonable world. Look at that. That we got an alliance in the chat room. We got the Barney Byron alliance. Look at those two. All right. Do I got any small talk for you? I don't think I do. I don't think I have any small talk for you. Typically we start the show out with me just giving you a little something. It's Christmas time. I was going to do a Christmas background today. We're still doing the American flag because it's not just crazy people on the right who get to enjoy the American flag. We moderates, we people in the middle here, we like the flag too. We think it's pretty. The right aren't the only people who get to pimp out the flag. The middle gets to pimp it out too. I was going to do a Christmas background. I'm thinking maybe Monday we start with the Christmas background. I'm saying it's Christmas time. You know, I was raised in the Midwest. I'm sure my friends in the Midwest are like, what? Isn't it like 80 there? No, it was 70. It doesn't feel like Christmas, but everybody's doing the Christmas lights. I told you yesterday about how I was stopped at Armstrong in Preston, sitting at that light there, the longest light known to man. And Jerry Jones's house is right there on the corner, owner of the Dallas Cowboys. And they're putting their Christmas lights out. That was yesterday. Today, everybody, man, they must just honestly be keeping up with the Joneses in Highland Park. Because today, this Friday morning, there were work trucks in front of every mansion in Highland Park. They were all doing the lights. The Joneses did it yesterday, though. Thus the saying, the adage, keeping up with the Joneses. Joneses. Hola, says Adam. All right. Hi, Adam. I'm missing people. I don't see Al. I don't see, where are all my people at? I didn't see Taronda. Is Taronda okay? Somebody check on Taronda. Who knows Taronda? Do any of you people know each other? I mean, do you guys, do you know each other? I don't know. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get into today, so why don't we just get started, huh? It is the Rant. Hi, folks. I'm Pugs Moran. We do this every day at noon, right about this time. It's the 15th day of November, year of our Lord, 2024. 320 pages have been torn from the 2024 calendar. That's right, 320 pages. That means 46 more days till New Year's Eve. 46, man. That ain't a lot. Jesus. Oh, Christmas really is here. All right, let's get started. Quarter one. We call it antecedently on this day. It's this day in history. That's all it is. Or maybe previously on November the 15th. Here we go. Antecedently on this day. How far back will we go? We went to Alexander the Great yesterday. Nope. Today we're opening up with 1777. Antecedently on this day in 1777, after 16 months of debate, the Continental Congress approves the Articles of Confederation. Huzzah! I don't know. I don't know what are the Articles of Confederation. They sound important. Well, where do the Articles of Confederation? Where do they play into the whole signing of the Declaration of Independence and then the Constitution? Years, right? There's like years involved here. Anyway, there you go. On this day, Articles of Confederation on this day in 1777. All right, so Declaration of Independence, we know that's 1776. So it must go Declaration of Independence, Articles of Confederation, and then like over a period of time, the Constitution. I don't know if there's a date or a year. Well, it's a living document, you know. I mean, the amendments have changed, but when did they roll out the initial, you know, with the Bill of Rights? When was that? Who knows? Don't care. Antecedent. I care. I got a flag. What do you mean I don't care? I'm an American. I got a flag. I don't have to know shit. I got a flag. Antecedently on this day in 1806, Lieutenant, coolest explorer name ever. This is a Battlestar Galactica name. This is a Star Trek name, and it's a real dude, and he didn't even do anything that impressive, but we all know his name. For it was on this day that Lieutenant Zebulon Pike looked off on the horizon and said, "That's a pretty tall mountain." And now we got Pike's Peak. Well, seriously, Lieutenant Zebulon Pike. Oh, points for the name. The name is awesome. Zebulon. Called him Zeb. Zeb, get over here. Zeb. Zeb's a good one. Zeb's a good name. It's better than Jeb. Jeb sounds like, you know, you have a drool cup. Zeb sounds like a dude who gets shit done. Zeb sounds like he leads like a militia or something like that. What's going on with the TV behind me? My American flag. Well, capitalism. You know, we're good with that. From time to time, the static American flag behind me is going to engage in a little Americanism, and that's capitalism, as we're seeing here. 30 seconds to freedom. That's what we call it. Sorry. This usually doesn't happen. We usually don't get ads with our static American flag background. That's very odd. All right, so Zebulon Pike, he looked at a mountain range. He said, "Look at that." And somebody said, "Wow, I didn't look in that direction. You looked in that direction first. So we're going to name it after you. Pike's Peak." Here we go. Oh, I can skip it now. There we go. America. All right. So yeah, that's what Zebulon Pike did. He didn't invent a mountain. He didn't discover the mountain. I'm guessing that everybody who ever existed in that area looked in that direction and saw that mountain. But somehow Zebulon Pike gets credit for discovering Pike's Peak. On this day in 1806, on this day antecedently in 1942, the Battle of Guadalcanal ends in a decisive Allied victory. Huzzah! I just love that word. That is like one of the apex words. Guadalcanal. It's fun to say. It's hard to say. It's, you can't have a speech impediment and be expected to pronounce Guadalcanal properly. But it is fun to say. Antecedently on this day, in the year 1959, 4 members of the Clutter family are murdered near Holcomb, Kansas. Well, gee, Pugs, that seems kind of just, common and random. 1959. Oh, this is the family that inspired the Truman Capote book, In Cold Blood. That's right. Perry Smith, Richard Hancock. I don't know if you're familiar with Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. It actually happened on this day in 1959. Antecedently on this day in 1979, a package from Unabomber Ted Kaczynski begins smoking in the cargo hold of a flight from Chicago to Washington, D.C., forcing the plane to make an emergency landing. Where? Where did it make an emergency? I want to know how far into the flight. Like Indianapolis? Like, did it start smoking? Because that would mean it started smoking right after leaving Chicago and they just sat down in Indianapolis, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. Anyway, 79, Unabomber sent his first package. Sent a package on this day in 79. On this day, antecedently in the year 1985, Unabomber sent another bomb. That's right, 1985, a research assistant is injured when a package from the Unabomber addressed to the University of Michigan professor explodes in a lab. There you go, 85. Unabomber, it's Unabomber Day. Antecedently on this day in 2001, Microsoft launches the Xbox Game Console. All right, Xbox, born on this day in 2001. Antecedently on this day in 2013, Sony releases the PlayStation 4. Yay! I was one of the PlayStation 4 idiots. I was one of the waiting in line because my kid, what was he, 3, 4, 5 years old at this point? I want a PlayStation 4 for Christmas. Yep, I got it. That came through. Antecedently on this day, PlayStation 4 is released. Antecedently on this day, it was PlayStation 5 that I didn't come through on. Like a couple of years later, and now they're like, a new PlayStation. He's like, Dad, I need the new PlayStation 5. And I'm like, God, I just bought you the 4. And he's like, that was like 4 years ago, Dad. And I'm like, ugh. Technology. I didn't get the PlayStation 5. That was much harder to get. I was like, dude, sorry. Yeah, I think his mom came through on that one, so good for him. But whatever. Antecedently, on this day in the year 2022, the world's population reached 8 billion people. 8 billion of us. Probably don't want to think about that. I think about that a lot. I think a lot about how insignificant we are. 8 billion of us rat ants occupying this beautiful blue marble, just shitting and puking all over it. That's all we are. We're just insignificant rat ants. There's 8 billion of us. And that's just here, you know? It's like when you pull out. That's what she said. Oh, it's kids' weekend. I got my kid coming in this weekend. So I got to get primed. I got to get ready for all the that's what she said jokes. $8 billion people. When you pull out and you look at the earth, right, you know, the ever-expanding universe, all of that kind of stuff, I understand. I understand the need for religion. I understand the need for fiction, for mythology. I mean, it's daunting when you think of how singularly important we are to ourselves and then realize how indisputably insignificant we truly are with all of the other things. And that's why I get so mad at humanity, because there is a fix to this. We are insignificant. And that is a daunting, daunting specter, a sort of Damocles, if you will, that hangs over the lifespan of every human being. What's next? We don't know. We don't know. We're 8 billion of us. We're not a grain of sand on a beach. We are like a mite. We are like a whatever the smallest known thing is on that singular grain of sand on that beach. That's how insignificant we are. We're not important. Stop thinking you're important. You'll go away, and honestly, the greater universe won't even miss a beat. So the life hack for this, because we are so insignificant, own that. Own that. Understand it. Don't be afraid of it. Lean into it. Lean into the fact that we are so singularly important and yet so undeniably insignificant. Lean into that. Understand that. Because when you do, that's when you realize that the thing that makes us important is our connection to each other. My son is 15 years old, goes to high school up there in Plano, Texas. He doesn't mean anything to anyone in the world. He is just, if Texas exploded, people watching it on the news in France would be like, well, that's a crazy news story. And they would go on with their day. It's my connection to my son that makes him important. It's his connection to the people in his life who he loves and who he has these interactions, which is why it's so fucking frustrating when it seems to be our civilized society has decided that instead of relishing our connections to one another and our differences and the fact that you make me important and I make you important because ultimately we're all so unimportant, the reason for all of this is our interpersonal connections is what I'm trying to say here, and that we mean nothing except for what we mean to each other. There you go. There you go. So stop being an asshole to everybody, to strangers. Stop being afraid. 8 billion of us. And you don't know but 500 of them. You don't. What do you know? What do you know? You need 500 people, tops. That's a lot. That's a popular guy. Popular human being in a sea of 8 billion of us who knows 500. So just be good to those 500. Maintain, regulate your personal universe. Because your personal universe doesn't mean shit. Other than how it relates to you and the people you love and the people who love you. All right, let's go. Next one, birthdays. Let's play a little birthday game here. These are people who are celebrating birthdays today. They're celebrities. They're significant contributors to the human experience. Let's decide if we want to wish them a happy birthday or just tell them to go get the hell out because they're dicks. Born on this day in 1919, Judge Joseph Wapner. Wapner. Happy birthday, Wapner. We're good with him. We're good with Wapner. Well, you know Wapner was a German Jew who fled the Holocaust? Yeah, Wapner. Wapner! Judge Joseph Wapner started it all. I was like, I could, there's a billion judges now. I don't know. Like, Judge Wapner started it. He was the first. He was like the first he was the first real judge who then became like a super famous TV judge. Wapner, the People's Court. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Born on this day in 1919. Wapner, happy birthday. Born on this day in 1929. Here's a fun old son of a bitch. Everybody loves Ed Asner. Ed Asner, born on this day in 1929. Never a radio interview that Ed Asner turned down. I interviewed Ed Asner probably a dozen times. Lovely, funny man. No fucks to give. Ed Asner had none of them. Born on this day in 1929. Born on this day in 1952. Let's say my favorite wrestler, Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. I liked Randy Macho Man Savage because he was so obviously over the top. I mean, he was obviously doing a bit. He was in character. I appreciated that. It's also why I like Mick Foley. Mick Foley was another one of these guys who just, the characters were so outlandish and over the top. It was just, anyway, there you go. Randy Savage, born on this day in 1952, Downers Grove, Illinois. Born on this day in 1968, a guy I think we sent to hell just a couple of days ago, died 2 days before his birthday. Born on this day in 1968, old dirty bastard, ODB. Wu-Tang. Born on this day in 1974, a guy whose dick I've seen. I can probably only say that about, I don't know, other straight guys out there. Seriously, ballpark it. This is fun. Other than your own, how many dicks have you seen? I put it at because you got to count, I guess, showers. I played on a lot of sports teams. And it's not like, oh, what are you looking at dicks for? It's not looking at dicks. It's just you're in the shower. Anyway, I have spent my life, I've been in a lot. I've worked in media for a lot of years, and I was an intern and a producer, and I like to think of myself in a lot of very interesting situations. I was allowed to be a fly on the wall. So I've seen some stuff. And very early on in this process, around about 1992, it was Dennis Rodman. It was Dennis Rodman who was the first. I decided that if I am ever in celebrity airspace and one of the celebrities goes to a public bathroom, I will follow them into the public bathroom and I will attempt to urinate next to them so that I can take a look at their penis. That's me. It's not you. We're not all the same. That's gay. Okay. Is it? I don't know. Mine doesn't move. It's not like that. I just want to know. I want to know what celebrities are working with. Dennis Rodman, let me tell you something. He set the bar, as one could imagine. But this guy, born on this day in 1974, I saw his penis. We did a dodgeball event, and he came out. We had a bunch of stars players who liked our dodgeball event. So a bunch of stars would come out, like Madonna would come out, and Matty Matvichuk was really big into it. And I think he came out with Matty. So Matty brings this dude out. This dude's Canadian. He come out and they watch dodgeball. He goes to the bath. I met him. He's, oh, hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. I've told this story before. I go to the bathroom and I play it right. I know how to do it. I know how to time the two lanes of urinals, right? And I'm like, so I get next to him. I'm taking a pee. I look over and I look down at him. Very impressive. Very impressive. Not Dennis Rodman impressive, but first of all, he's a big dude. I know I haven't said his name yet. He's a big dude. So one would expect. You know who? I'll tell you. You know who is the smallest of the celebrity penises? I don't know the dude's name. He played Ed. Remember that show, Ed? The guy who played Ed Small penis. Peed next to him at a country bar in Los Angeles on Sunset. That's like whatever it is. Anyway, this guy, born on this day in 1974, I peed next to him at a dodgeball event. He's the lead singer of Nickelback, Chad Kroeger. He's working with something. Slash. Saw Slash from Guns N' Roses. Saw his penis. Who else? A lot of comedian penises. But they blend together. All right, let's keep going. Born on this day in 1984. Speaking of penises and looking at them, Asia Kate Dillon. One of them, be respectful because I'm a respectful guy. One of them, they them people. Not like me, and probably not like you. You know, one of these new people that we're cool with, totally cool. We're fine. We're getting used to it. We're like, okay. Not used to this. Asia Kate Dillon is actually a terrific, I almost said actress. I can't say actress, although that name is feminine, right? Asia Kate. Kate gives it away. Asia Kate Dillon is an actress. She was on the TV show Billions. Don't know if you've ever seen Billions on Showtime. It's fantastic. I have to wait about a year or so before I re-binge Billions again, but it's coming. The re-binge of Billions is coming. It's fantastic. In the later seasons of Billions, Asia Kate Dillon is introduced as Taylor Mason. Taylor Mason is an intern at this Axe Capital, this big investment fund with billionaires. Asia Kate Dillon, Taylor Mason plays an intern who is assigned to one of the traders. And it's quickly revealed that Asia Kate Dillon's character of Taylor Mason is a cyborg. Is a money-making cyborg. And even though they are only like 18, 19 years old and they're an intern, they quickly ascend to the most powerful position at this fund at like 19 years old. Asia Kate Dillon is a they-them actor. Excuse me. It's not intentional. It's not. Working through it. And they are great. Like, I got to be honest, like in the very beginning, the introduction of the character, Taylor Mason, was a little bit like, oh, God, what is this now? Oh, geez. Very quickly, you get over that. And that's the process of evolving on new things. You can be expected when confronted with something that you're not used to, like a character on a popular TV show who is neither a boy nor a girl, right? Okay, give me a break. But man, what a character! Like became my favorite character on that show. So let me show you what Asia Kate Dillon, our birthday person, let me show you what they look like. I think it's clear this individual was born a biological female and kind of lives their life sort of in between. So here you go. I honestly, my issue with Asia Kate Dillon is that so good as the character of Taylor Mason, I want to see more of this actor, that the way this actor performs, it's mesmerizing. The character is literally like a robot, like a cyborg. It's just really fascinating. And there you go. All right. So, feminine, right? But also boyish. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I just don't know, like, what else does this person do? The character of Taylor Mason in Billions was so perfect for this person, and they slayed it. It was just so great. But like, what else? I don't know. I hope they get work. I like them. I'll watch them. I'll tell you though, one of the most disturbing scenes. And it's disturbing. And screw you if you want to judge me for this. I'm speaking openly and candidly. This is how we change. This is how we get accustomed to things that are new, or at least different to our life experience. There was a sex scene. Asia Kate Dillon did a sex scene in Billions, and it was really uncomfortable for me. It was very uncomfortable because it wasn't sexy. It was very strange. They got naked, and it was very, but man, what an actress. Happy birthday, actor. Excuse me. That's my mistake. Look, I know that since Trump won, we don't have to be all that worried about cancel culture and all that shit anymore. And we can maybe push the envelope or be a little bit more comfortable with dancing on the envelope. but I still think respect needs to be employed at all times. And if someone is living a life that I don't understand or that I do not have any experience being able to cotton to, doesn't mean it's wrong and it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's happening at the same time that I'm happening. And we've got to coexist. Look at that bumper sticker. Born on this day in 1991. Here's the last birthday. Shailene Woodley. She's a weird. She's an actress. She's a weird actress chick. She's a witch. She thinks she's a witch. This may explain her extended relationship with Aaron Rodgers, another weirdo. Shailene Woodley, born on this day in 1991. Happy birthday to Shailene Woodley, you weird wood witch, whatever you are. Let's do deads. These are the people who've died. These are the people who've died. Radio Misfits says that Asia Kate Dillon was also in the John Wick films. Yes. Yeah. Terrific young actor. Look at that. The use of the non-gender specific actor term that I was railing against yesterday actually seems to work. Very good. Let's do deads. People who died on this day, where'd they go? Heaven or hell, right? Let's do it. First of all, you remember this one? Honestly, I skipped over this. When I was putting this together, I skipped over it. And then I kept going back to it. And I'm like, why does that sound familiar? And I'm like, oh, whoa. Do you guys remember dead on this day? Oh, and this is a bad one, too. This is a sad one. Dead on this day. Baby Faye, 1984. Do you guys remember Baby Faye? Baby Faye. She was like one of these media creatures. Media creatures are people who pop up and become very famous for a very short period of time due to something that they've done that was covered in the media. Baby Faye, of course, had no control over this. She was a baby. Baby Faye was born with a heart defect, and they gave her a baboon heart. Remember Baby Faye, the baboon heart baby? Yeah, they gave her a baboon heart, and it worked right up until the minute it didn't. And when it didn't, she died, and she died on this day in 1984. Lived for a month, though, a month with a baboon heart. Now, ultimately, I'm thinking this was a failure, and here's why. Because this was in 1984, and we ain't had any progress in the baboon heart department. You know, it's not like baboon heart. Like, if this was like groundbreaking science, we'd all have baboon, not all of us, but like people would have baboon hearts. Like, oh, what? You showed signs of heart disease at 48 years old? Here, have a baboon heart. And then we live to be 120. And we're in great shape because the baboon heart is like pumping and are like fucking really yoked, like baboons, like really strong. I don't know. It's just what I thought would happen. Baby Faye, we're putting her in heaven because of course we are, because we're not monsters. Dead on this day in 1984, Baby Faye. Dead on this day in 1996, a famed American spy, Soviet spy, American diplomat, American United Nations lawyer, convicted of spying for the Soviet Union, dead on this day, lived to a ripe old age, dead on this day in 1996, born in 1904, Alger Hiss. Alger Hiss. You know, this is, so a lot of people were killed. Not a lot of people, but there were a number of like, you know, big name cases where people were put to death in this country during the Red Scare era. Alger Hiss is one of them. Alger Hiss is not as controversial, although there are a lot of people who maintain Alger Hiss did nothing wrong. But it's not as controversial, as far as I'm concerned, as the Rosenbergs. The Rosenbergs, that seemed like a witch hunt because somebody wanted to become famous for putting communists to death. Roy Cohn. Alger Hiss, I don't know, a little more complicated with Alger Hiss. I think he did something, but I don't know that he's the record-breaking spy that history remembers him as. He'll go to hell. He'll go to hell because F him. He apparently did have some anti-American views, so he can go to hell. Dead on this day in 1996, Alger Hiss. Send him to hell. Dead on this day in 2017, someone who I don't know, but I've heard my son mention. His name is Little Peep. Little Peep. He's a hip-hop guy. Was born in 96, died in 2017. 21 years old. Died of I'm guessing a drug overdose, right? Little Peep. I don't know, man. A kid, a 21-year-old kid, hip-hop star, drug overdose. He had tattoos on his face. All right, he's going to hell. There you go. I'm sorry. I think that's a rule, and I didn't make it. I think that's in the Bible. Face tattoo, you go to hell. All right, there you have it. That's going to do it, folks. Those are the first 3 quarters of today's show. What do you say we move forward effortlessly and with justice in our hearts into discussing all the day's events, the hot stories, the headlines, the trends? First, I want to remind you, we've got an executive producer today. She's lovely. She's been the executive producer before. She's one of the originals and one of the people that keep this show on the air every single day. Excuse me. Let me get rid of this. Leslie, of course. Sorry. Leslie, of course, is our executive producer. She was the big tipper on yesterday's show. The big tip of the day came through. She wins the award, executive producer. Who will be tomorrow's executive producer? Well, or Mondays, I guess, right? We'll have to wait and see on Monday. If you want to be that person, all you got to do is drop a little something. The Venmo, the Cash App, whatever suits you, we will accommodate. As long as it's those two. Don't stop it with the Zelle. Stop it, just these two. All right, let's get started. Let's get into all the things that are happening today. Happy Friday to you. It is Friday, November the 15th, year of our Lord, 2024. The big story. We're gonna glance through these, okay? We're gonna go through these very quickly because I don't like to spend time on this stuff, but it is news and you need to know what's going on, right? All right, so appointments, right? Trump's making all kinds of appointments. A lot of people are calling him crazy. Other people are like not calling him crazy. But nobody is, okay, I don't know. Look, my opinions on Matt Gaetz, I made it clear. When the Matt Gaetz announcement was made 2 days ago, I lost my shit. Seriously, I didn't sleep that night. I'm like, are you kidding me? But then I realized that Matt Gaetz is not a real, authentic offering. Matt Gaetz is the opening negotiation. You throw Matt Gaetz out there because you know they're going to lose their shit. And then you're going to pull Matt Gaetz away, and then they're going to owe you something because you've made the compromise. And that's how you get the person you really want. All right? So that's what I'm thinking about with Gaetz. It's also becoming really clear. There are 30 United States senators in the Republican Party who say, frack no to Matt Gaetz. 30. So he ain't, it's not even going to be close. I mean, no Dem is going to vote for Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. And you got 30 senators right now going, no, that's a bridge too far. All right. So there you go. That's the Matt Gaetz thing. So who's he actually want in there? Who knows? We don't know. We'll see. Watch it be Rudy Giuliani. Who knows? All right. RFK Jr. That's the big one from yesterday. Trump has apparently decided that he wants to make RFK Jr. Health Secretary. He's going to be in charge of the nation's health. Again, a lot of people freaking out about this. Do not believe there's any way that this one gets confirmed, even with a Republican-dominated Senate. The Senate, oh God, when am I going to stop sounding like someone a fucking hopium junkie? That's what I sound like. I'm about to sit here and say that I think the Senate is setting up guardrails so that we can even me sitting here saying that I believe the Senate needs to establish guardrails is a little bit too much politics for me to be comfortable talking about. So anyway, Thune's got a lot of negotiating to do, is what I'm saying. The new leader of the Senate, he's already gone on record as saying that Gaetz is very problematic and probably not even worth the vote. And he's also said the same concerning RFK. And some of the things he has said, I don't know. It doesn't sound like health director or secretary of health is something. I understand the gamesmanship from Team Trump coming with the attorney general. That and secretary of state are the two most important. I don't have a problem with Marco Rubio, secretary of state. I really don't. Some of you do. Look, it could be worse. I'm okay with Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. He's a bit of a hawk, and we'll see how he feels about regime change in Iran, because, as you know, that's what I'm very hawkish on, regime change in Iran and stopping Russia from gobbling up more of Europe. Anyway, we'll see how he feels about that. He's on my side on most of those things, so that's why I say Marco Rubio, maybe not that bad of a choice for Secretary of State. For those of you who are pessimists, it could be a lot worse. Might I direct your attention over to the Attorney General, where he went. See, I get the Attorney General. I get the gamesmanship because that's Attorney General. They gave him Rubio. Rubio will be confirmed by the Senate. That's not a problem. So you got that. Going to be confirmed, no problem. Attorney General is going to be a fight. Gates isn't even going to be the guy. But RFK, Health Secretary, that seems like that's going to be a fight, and it's an unnecessary fight, unless it's a promise that was made to RFK. You know, like, hey, if you help me out here, I'll make, because promises are made. That's how these things get done. So unless that was a promise that was made to RFK and Trump's like, well, I'll nominate you, but we'll see what happens. Maybe that's it. And because Health Secretary isn't really something that I think is all that important to Trump, I think he's willing to be okay with that. Like, whatever. Well, buddy, I put you up. I don't know. Yeah, Gates and RFK Jr., they look problematic. People are saying that Tulsi Gabbard is problematic. Hell, I could tell you that from the beginning. She's very problematic on many levels, but go ahead. She looks good in a bikini, so fucking stand over her all you want, you idiots. And then the Fox News guy, they're saying the Fox News guy is also no chance in hell of getting there's already all kinds of things going on about him. Anyway, there you have it. That's the latest. Transition News is brought to you by nobody. We don't have advertisers. All right, let's keep going. What else do we have here? What else is in the news? Texas Supreme Court. Here you go. This just happened this morning. We got to mention this. We were covering this story a couple of weeks ago. The story of Robbie Robertson. Not that one. Not the guy who was in the band with Levon Helm and Rick Danko. No, not that Robbie Robertson. We're talking about Robert Robertson. He's the guy who, 30 years ago or something, he was sentenced to death here in Texas. Shaken baby syndrome. Became a huge conversation piece across the country. 30 years. Shaken. Apparently, his daughter was crying. He was accused of shaking his baby, and his baby died. Shaken baby syndrome. Okay. Now, this case is very troublesome because the police officer and the prosecuting attorney who won the case all those years ago are like, yeah, we don't think he did it. We don't think. We know we got the conviction years and years ago, but man, we don't think he did it. And so they're on the side of the people who were trying to get his execution, which was scheduled for like 2 weeks ago. The lead investigator and the prosecutor who put him behind bars are on the side of people saying he needs to be, we don't think he did it. He can't be killed. Okay, so that's the story we've been covering for 2 weeks. Then, if you remember, there was a last-minute stay. The Supreme Court of Texas, Governor Abbott said that he would not grant a stay of execution, but then at the last minute, the Supreme Court stepped in, and the Supreme Court said, we need to listen to some of this new stuff. Well, the Supreme Court of Texas has listened, and they said, we are not impressed. And there you have it. They ruled that Robert Robertson will be killed. The Texas Supreme Court has denied a delay of execution for Robert Robertson for the murder of his daughter back in 2002, shaken baby syndrome. Okay, there you have it. So we'll move on from that. What else do we have? Anything new? Okay, yeah, another update in the story that we had. We were covering this last week. We told you about the start of the Daniel Penny trial in Manhattan. Daniel Penny, of course, is being accused of murdering Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely was a subway rider. He was the Michael Jackson impersonator, which is this here. This case is now going on in Manhattan. Daniel Penn is a student. He was on his way to the gym to work out. He got on the train. Jordan Neely was acting a fool. He was screaming. He was yelling. We've played the video. He was threatening people. Jordan Neely came up behind the obvious troubled homeless man, Michael Jackson impersonator, came up behind him, sunk a chokehold, took him to the ground, stopped the situation from being any crazier than it was getting. And of course, Jordan Neely died. Now, Daniel Penny is on trial for the murder. Okay, so what are happening here in the murder? Obviously, was it self-defense? Is he a good guy, or did he really need to do that? Yesterday, there was some interesting testimony from another guy who helped hold down Jordan Neely. This was the guy who had his arms and legs. He testified yesterday in court that he told, and can be seen on the tape, speaking with Daniel Penny. He said, stop it, let him breathe. So there you go. That's the latest. We'll let you know if more happens today. Testimony from somebody who was aiding Daniel Penny in the holding down of the deceased Jordan Neely, someone helping Daniel Penny, testified in court that he told Daniel Penny he needed to stop, that it was going on too long and he didn't need to be choking him. This is a very troubling story. This is a very because we've all seen the video. We're not gonna watch it again. Go to YouTube. You can find it. It's out there. We watched it last week. You watch a man die. I'm not big on seeing that in rerun form. Jordan Neely was a mental case, right? Jordan Neely, there was a problem there, and who knows what Jordan Neely could have done next. He wasn't doing anything, well, but he's obviously a mental case. And are you comfortable that the mental case is going to maintain this nonviolence, or do you think there's a possibility that this mental case, we all agree is a mental case, do you think there's a possibility he could hurt people and that this needs to be at least managed right now? No. Well, that's what I think. I think the situation was managed. I don't think that Daniel Penny is a monster for doing what he did. But I am interested in seeing how this court case plays out. I want to know the details. I want to hear more stuff, like what was testified to yesterday, that even people who were there were saying you need to let go now. He could have let go. There were other people holding him down. He could have been held down. I don't know. It's troubling, man. I'm glad I'm not on the jury. I don't know that Daniel Penny is a terrible, terrible person. That's not what this is about. This is about, did Jordan Neely need to die? It raises conversations about everything from mental health to what constitutes unnecessary force, to what are our obligations as citizens to one another. I might argue that Daniel Penny might have been honoring some obligation that he felt as a man to these people around him. I don't know. It's very complicated. It certainly isn't cut and dry. Daniel Penny certainly isn't a monster. And I don't know that Jordan Neely is a monster either. This is just an ugly situation. Remember, 8 billion of us. 8 billion of us on this planet. And from time to time, we bump into each other, and the results are shit like this. Whoopi Goldberg is in the news. Apparently, Whoopi Goldberg is pissed off because she can't get stupid liberal cakes at her stupid bakery where she likes to go because she's a liberal. That's right. I know. I'm making a little fun of this. Whoopi Goldberg claims bakery is refusing to serve her because of her left-wing views. All right. Cool. Good on that bakery. Now, I've got no real hatred for Whoopi Goldberg, and I've got no real disdain for the left or the right for that matter. But this is one of them situations where I've always been pretty consistent. If I'm a business owner and I want to be known in the community as the business owner who refuses to serve Whoopi Goldberg because I don't like her, I think that's my right as an American to be like, hey, welcome to my bakery. Jesus, Whoopi, I don't like you. I don't want to serve you. That should be the right of every business owner. Yeah, I know it gets complicated when that business owner starts saying shit like, I don't like the color of your skin, therefore I'm not going to serve you. Again, complicated. But if it's just an individual, he's not saying that an entire group of people are not welcome at his bakery. He's specifically saying Whoopi Goldberg is not welcome at my bakery, and I applaud the guy. Again, I have no animus towards Whoopi Goldberg specifically. It's just, this is fun. If I ran a business, I might just select a rando and be like, yeah, for no reason other than, I enjoy the Soup Nazi episode of Seinfeld. And that seems like the kind of thing you would do. Just as a business owner, one person, just decide one day, wake up one day when you go into your shop, one day, decide the 5th person who walks into my store today, I will refuse to serve ever. And I won't explain why, because there is no reason why, but I want him walking around this world. I want to be living rent-free in that guy's head, him wondering why. Whoopi Goldberg claims bakery refused to serve her because of her left-wing views. Controversy as the actress claims one thing, but the bakery in New York, they have a very different version of events. Ooh, who's interested in what the bakery has to say? I didn't read the story. This is one of them stories that made the cut simply because of the headline. Whoopi Goldberg has suggested that a bakery in a Republican part of New York refused to take her birth. What's a Republican part of New York? What's that, Trump Tower? What? The actress, who had been vocal in her criticism of Donald Trump, claimed on her TV show, The View, that the business may have rebuffed her request for 50 Charlotte Russe desserts because they didn't like my politics. Miss Goldberg did not name the bakery, but Entertainment Weekly alleged that it was Holterman's, a 145-year-old. Oh, thanks, Entertainment Weekly, for getting fucking involved. You needed to be involved in here. You needed to drag the name of this like old-time, small-town, family-owned business. The actress, Miss Holterman's, a 145-year-old family-owned business on Staten Island, one of the most conservative parts of New York. Its owner, Jill Holterman, refuted Mrs. Goldberg's allegation and said that they couldn't fulfill her order because of boiler issues. Mrs. Holterman told Entertainment Tonight, I said to Whoopi, I can't do it right now. We have so many things going on with my boiler. Because the building is from 1930. So when she called me, Whoopi, I had no idea if we could be baking everything that she needed. Mrs. Holterman insisted the decision was not because of political comments by Mrs. Goldberg and that the boiler issue was later resolved. Mrs. Goldberg, however, claimed her claims on Wednesday's episode of The View while she celebrated her 69th birthday. Goldberg said, my birthday dessert today was one of my mom's favorites from when she was a kid. She talked about these all the time. They're called Charlotte Russe. It's a sponge cake with a whipped cream and cherry on top. That sounds awful. That sounds like poor people cake. All right, so here's the deal. So Whoopi Goldberg wanted 50 cakes from a mom and pop bakery. They said they couldn't do it. Whoopi goes on TV and goes, it's because I'm a liberal. Oh, shut up. 50 cakes. She called it one of, you need to call like Enterman's Corporate. You want 50 special cakes, 50 special poor people cakes. Ugh. Anyway. There you go, Whoopi Goldberg. She's irritating, right? She's like I kind of like her. Like I'd like to hang out, drink beer, and get high with her because I think she might be kind of fun on that level. But then also, not so much. Here's a story that's been circulating for 2 days now. I finally broke down. We're going to talk about it. I avoided it yesterday because I was like, that sounds weird. But here we are. You know about this dead guy that was found at Planet Fitness? Apparently he was in the tanning bed for 3 days and nobody noticed. What does that look like? Was the tanning bed on for 3 days? Was it like a turkey? Was it? You remember the Seinfeld episode where Kramer bathed himself in butter and then would sunbathe outside on the roof in butter, and then Fat Newman saw him, and like when Fat Newman saw buttered up Kramer, he like saw a turkey. It was like a turkey with Kramer's head. It was very funny. It was one of them strange, rare moments where Seinfeld used special effects, but it was funny. So that's what I imagine. After 3 days in a tanning bed, man's dead body found in Planet Fitness tanning bed after 3 days. I bet they just wiped it down and the next dude came in. That's probably how they found the dead body. There was somebody like, hey, is anybody using that tanning bed? And they're like, oh, there's a dead guy. And then they pulled the dead guy, they wiped it down. They're like, dude, it's all yours. It's all yours, brah. Let's see here. A man was found dead inside a tanning bed at a Planet Fitness gym on Monday in Indianapolis. There's nowhere to go in Indianapolis. I mean, I could see how that could happen there. You guys ever been to Indianapolis? That is sad. There's like nothing to do in Indianapolis. The Marion County Coroner's Office on Tuesday identified the deceased man as 39-year-old Derek Sink, though the office has not yet determined the cause or manner of death. Well, he's a tanning bed enthusiast, so I'm guessing he's a douchebag. So I'm thinking maybe party drugs. You know, maybe he did some party drugs and then got his tan on. Again, people who tan are douchebags. Sorry. The only time you're allowed to tan, and even this, I'm going to roll my eyes, but I won't say anything. If you go to a tanning bed because it's like you're going on vacation and you don't want to burn, maybe you're like me. Right? You're like I had a wife once. I had a wife twice, but I had a wife once who we were going on a trip and she made me go to a tanning bed. She's like, you got to go to a tanning bed. I don't want a vacation ruined because you're all sunburned. So that happened. So if you do that, I guess that's okay. But other than that, if you're in a tanning bed, you're a D-bag. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department said officers responded shortly before 8:30 a.m. on Monday to the Planet. So he went in on Friday, I'm guessing. So on Monday to the Planet Fitness at 8707 Hardegarden Street after receiving a report that a body had been found in the bed. Sink's family officially reported him missing on Sunday. Well, he was looking kind of pale, and I told him he needed to go down and hit his tanning bed. After last hearing from him on Friday, Sink's aunt told whatever news channel in Indianapolis that Sink visited the tanning bed on Friday and wasn't found until Monday, despite the fact that he was wearing an ankle monitor. Oh, yeah! Whee! Oh, it's coming together. We're learning more about this D-bag. Okay, so he's tanning, so we know what that means. He's got an ankle monitor, so we know what that means. He's 39 years old, and he's still in close proximity to his aunt. So that suggests that, he hasn't really left the nest. And he's still... Sink's family officially reported him missing on Sunday. See, if I went missing, my family, it'd be weeks before my family reported me missing. No one would know I was missing. If I was gone, no, I don't talk to people for days and days on end. Nobody would know. Who'd come looking for my kid? My kid, because I always respond to texts. I always say, look, if I don't respond to a text and it's been 12 hours, I'm dead. That's probably not the best thing for me to say to my kid. I could lose my phone, and then I got my kid freaking out thinking I'm dead. So that's probably not good. A gym member who was there at Planet Fitness before police arrived Monday morning said that there had been a noticeable smell and expressed surprise that a dead person could have been there all weekend. They're open on weekend. People get their workout on weekends. I imagine weekends are busy times at Planet Fitness. The tanning bed has a door, I believe, but still, why are we not concerned that the tanning bed has been closed for 3 days, potentially? Another member said. We were deeply saddened by the passing of one of our members, and the franchise owner is working with the local authorities in their investigation. Planet Fitness Chief Corporate Affairs Officer McCall Goslin said in a statement. McCall Goslin, is that one of the John and Kate plus 50? Is that one of the John and Kate Goslins? Did they all grow up and are now making decisions there in Indianapolis? That'd be cool. At Planet Fitness, here's a quote now. At Planet Fitness, we have robust operational brand protocols in place as this. Okay, fuck it. This is, they're getting it sued. Is the family of this ankle bracelet wearing tanning enthusiast now going to sue Planet Fitness for $50 million? Because he did too many poppers before falling asleep in a tanning bed? I don't know. This is dumb. There you have it. Indianapolis, the most interesting thing that has happened in that city since who's that guy? Since the quarterback retired. All right, what else do we have too? Oh, people are moving. Yeah, there's a lot of people we're moving. I don't want to be an American anymore. Then you were never an American to begin with. That's what I say. If you don't think America can handle another 4 years of whatever is coming, then you are not an American. You are not a patriot, and you are not willing to put in the hard work, the sweat equity, the effort, the blood, in order to ensure that this country maintains its place as we're still the coolest country. We're the coolest country. Ireland's pretty cool, though. I think Ireland's pretty cool. Are we the coolest country? I think we are. I think because of Hollywood and Vegas. I think we're still in New York City. We're the coolest country. There you go. But people are leaving. And you might be shocked to learn as an American, especially if you're, an American moving somewhere else. You might be shocked to learn you can't just move anywhere else. That's right. Not a whole lot of countries that just want stray Americans who are. Yeah, and honestly, we're not sending you our best. We're not. If I can speak to the rest of the world, the people who are leaving are our crybaby idiots. They're like the Pilgrims. That's what the Pilgrims were. Seriously, is that what's happening? Like the Puritans and the Pilgrims who left England because of dancing? I don't know, whatever. I think it was that wasn't that like Footloose, right? Isn't that kind of the origin story of the Pilgrims, why they left? There was no dancing, or they wanted no dancing. They didn't come here to dance, right? It was the opposite. That's why Australia is so cool. Look at that. Australia, another cooler country than us. Australia is cool because whereas we, the people who came here from England, were like the lamest. They were the most boring. They were such buzzkills that the other people in England were like, yeah, go ahead, go on. Yeah, no, go ahead, go sail the mighty blue sea. Go see what you can find out there. They were the lamos, the pilgrims, the Puritans. They were the weirdos. Just like the people who are leaving the country now. People who are leaving this country now, they're the weirdos. But anyway, Australia's cooler because whereas we got the church ladies, Australia got the con men and the bank robbers and the criminals and the dudes that were up to fun stuff. Australia is settled by fun people. Not us. We're settled by lame people. Anyway, so it is kind of like that. So you modern day pilgrims who are looking to find a country that, I don't know, will outlaw dancing, whatever it is that you're looking for, you might be thinking about what country is best suited for me. So let's run through a list of some countries that are high on the list of people, Americans, who are, leaving. Oh, no. Hold on. Is that the wrong story? Did I get the wrong story? No, that's cool because it's a good story. It's a good story. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. I just clicked on the wrong one. All right, countries offering citizenship. Now, there are some countries that will offer you citizenship based on your ancestry. Like, you don't have to have been born there, but your parents can be born there, and in some cases, your grandparents can be born there for you to be able to obtain a passport, a legal passport, and obtain citizenship to another country. One of the countries tops on the list there is the one that I'd go to. Ireland comes in at number 1. According to Ireland's Department of Foreign Affairs, any U.S. citizen whose parent was born before January of 2005 in Ireland is already a citizen. 2005. What is that, 19 years? All right, so that's weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're already a citizen. If your parents were born there, but you were born somewhere else, you're already a citizen in Ireland. For those whose parents were born after, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, U.S. citizens with grandparents who were born in Ireland can apply through foreign birth registration. All right, so if your grandparents were born in Ireland, you can apply, and they will probably give you citizenship. How about number 2, Germany? U.S. citizens may be able to acquire a German citizenship if they can prove that they have a German parent, a grandparent, or a great-grandparent who was born in the country. Hey, Germany, you can get citizenship going all the way back. If your great-grandparent was born in Germany and you're an American looking to get out, you can go to Germany, you get yourself some citizenship just if your great-grandparent was born there. Number 3. This is a weird one. Number 3, Poland. Go on over there. Set up a little light bulb installation business. Make $1 million. What are you doing in Poland? Well, I set up a light bulb installation business. That's a funny joke. It plays into some ethnic stereotypes and some very old styles of humor, but that's beside the point. Poland. This Central European country gives any American who has Polish and or Jewish ancestry the opportunity to apply for citizenship. I'd like to find out where I'm eligible. I'd like to find out where I can go. Number 4. I don't want to go here. Got no interest in going here. But Pugs, it's an emerging economy, and in 100 years, it will be like what America is. No, not now. I think this place smells. Never been. Don't want to go. You know why I don't want to go? Because I think this place smells. I just imagine you get off the plane. It seems like the kind of place that, like, you get off the plane and you're walking on the runway. I don't like those places. And I like a tunnel that comes out from a building and it attaches to the plane and you walk across a tunnel. I like that. I don't like to have to walk on the tarmac. Anyway. I don't know. They probably got the sleeves. That's what we'll call them, plane sleeves that you walk through, tunnel sleeves. They probably got them. I just don't want to go there. They've got a monkey infestation. I imagine it smells. I'm not a big fan of curry. India is number 4 on the list of places. I don't want to go to India. Seems hot. Seems like there'd be bugs. Seems like I'd be like this all the time. What does that smell? Oh God, is that like human waste or is that food? Like, you ever have that? You ever have a smell or like you're trying to figure out, is this something that I should be smelling because I can eat it, or is this something that I shouldn't be smelling? There's like the 5 seconds where you're like, what is that? I imagine that's what India is all the time. Under the OCI scheme, a card holder, also, while India does not grant dual citizenship to those born in other countries, it does allow certain individuals to acquire overseas citizenship. Under the overseas citizenship scheme, the cardholder is granted a multiple entry, multi-purpose, lifelong visa for visiting India. Okay, so it's like a VIP card. It's like it's like you're like a gold member at Hooters. You get to go to India whenever you want, and they don't hassle you when you come and go. Number 5 is Italy. I could have lived in Italy. I couldn't live in Italy. I don't think Italy has air conditioning. Every time I see a depiction of people living in Italy, it's like, oh, my Italian villa. Every time I see pictures of people living in Italy, I'm like, do they have air conditioning? Their windows are always open. Drapes are always, blowing in the breeze. I think it's picturesque. I don't think I would be practically comfortable there. Like, do we have air conditioning in this place? It's a 500-year-old ancient villa the Medicis built. Oh, so that's a no. So there's no air conditioning. The Medicis didn't. The Medici. Oh, sorry, Medici. The Medici didn't like air conditioning. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, Italy. Go to Italy. No. You visit Italy. You don't live in Italy. You don't. You know what? You live in Italy. You find out you're like, I could really use a Maggiano's. Seriously. You'll be like, I like American Italian food better than I like Italian. You ever had real Italian food? I did once. It was really soupy. Like the sauces, I guess they call it gravy. It's like real watery. It's not like it is here in America where it's like thick and there's all kinds of shit. I don't know. America takes ethnic dishes from around the world, and let's be honest, we make it better because of our bounty of food and bread. Number 6. Ain't nobody leaving America to move to number 6, okay? I know it's number 6 on the list, and there's probably a reason for it. Ain't nobody doing it. Ain't nobody I know. Oh, wait a second. Maybe black dudes. Maybe this is a black dude thing. Maybe this is a black person thing. There are no white people leaving America for Ghana, okay? Ghana. First of all, not living in any country that uses an H that way, that recklessly. That is a reckless H. You don't need that H in the spelling of Ghana. And you know what? I would make a case that the H is in the wrong place. It shouldn't be G-H-A-N-A. It should be G-A-H-N-A. It should be God. G-A-A. Anyway, ain't nobody moving to Ghana. Nobody wants to go to Ghana. I'm speaking for white people, okay? None of us white people want to go to Ghana. Maybe some of you black people do. I get it. It's, ancestral home and all that. Cool. Again, Africa, beautiful. Bugs, and I'm not sure they have air conditioning. Plus the added attraction, lions. Lions in the streets. I might be wrong about that, but I think there's lions in the streets in Africa. Number 7, here you go. Now we're talking. I could go here. And I think, seriously, after about 6 months, I could get the language down. I think I could. Because I live in Texas. I already have, like, practical Spanish. Like, I can work my way through Spanish with people just from living in Texas all this time. Spain is number 7. Americans who can prove both or either one of their parents are Spanish nationals, were adopted by Spanish nationals prior to their 18th birthday, or, that's the trick. Can't adopt a 19-year-old to make him a citizen. You got to marry the 19-year-old. All right. So, but anyway, Spain, I don't know. It seems like Spain's kind of number 8 on the list of places Americans are moving to. Hungary. Arriba. Whenever I think of Hungary, I think of Lisa from Green Acres. Remember Green Acres? Arriba. I was a princess in Budapest. According to the Hungarian embassy in Washington, anyone born to a Hungarian or who has Hungarian grandparents are citizens themselves, regardless of the country of their birth. Look at that. If your grandparents were Hungarian, you, sir, are right now walking around Hungarian, and you didn't even know it. If your grandparents were Hungarian, you can have a Hungarian passport if you want. I want a Hungarian passport. All right, number 8, Hungary. Is that it? Just 8? That's it, folks. Just 8 of them. That's all they gave us. 8 places people are running to and and if you want to become a citizen, how you become a citizen of these places. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, where to move? Oh, who's next? This is a crazy story. I spent way more time reading this story and then doing a bunch of clicking links to things, and then I fell down a hole, and all of a sudden I'm watching YouTube videos. It was weird, but it's an interesting story. So, whole bunch of scientists. Some of you don't believe in science. That's okay. That's 4 years. 4 years. We got to spend 4 years tolerating people who don't put up with science. That's fine. That's fine. I'm willing to do it. A whole bunch of scientists, they got together and they said, hey, here's a fun thought experiment. I'm always down for a good thought experiment. Here's a fun thought experiment. What happens if humanity goes away? 8 billion of us. We talked about that earlier. 8 billion of us on this planet. What happens if we vanish? What happens if humanity vanishes? The question becomes, who's next? Who steps up? What is the next thing on this planet that will take over and become the dominant species on the planet? Now, my first thought when I saw this headline, was, well, monkeys, right? And that the whole cycle starts over again with monkeys? They're like, no, not monkeys. It ain't going to be monkeys. Because whatever it is that killed us as humans is probably going to kill all the monkeys. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what are you talking about? Bugs? What are you talking about? Birds? You talking about fish? No, to all of those. Well, sort of. So guess who's next? And by the way, scientists, this was overwhelming. They're like, yeah, this is a consensus. We all pretty much believe this. So if humanity is erased from Earth, who is the next species currently living on this planet who's on deck to be the primary dominant species? Are you ready? Octopus. Octopus! How fucking cool is that? Octopus. Because the scientists are like, well, if humans go away, it's because of an inability to breathe the air or live on the land or whatever it is. So it's, immediately we're going to something in the water. And apparently, and I didn't know this, octopus are real smart. Do you know that octopus can work together? Do you know that octopus use tools? Like they bang shit with shit. Like octopus are apparently like badass. And I've never really given octopus much of a thought, other than they're delicious. If you ever had taku, I believe it's a taku in a sushi restaurant, it's octopus. It's good. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. Taku with some wasabi and soy. Oh, now that's what I want for dinner tonight. Anyway, yeah, they're saying octopus. And dig this. This is the coolest thing from this article. So what they say is that over the course of like 1 million years, because, yeah, this is going to be a process. But like over the course of like 1 million years, octopus will develop the ability to hunt on land in the way that humans develop the ability to hunt on the water. Like octopus, like what are they going to create? Like, how we made boats that can ride above the water? Like what are octopus going to make? Are they going to make like little rolling tanks where they're like in water? They're like in these tanks and they're it's endless possibilities. I want to live in the octopus world of 1 million years from now. Scientists reveal which creature will rule Earth should all humans die. World-leading experts claim that the 8-limbed creatures, octopus, are primed to become the dominant force on Earth should humanity die out. In the event of a wipeout through either wars or climate change, the marine invertebrates are said to possess the physical and mental attributes necessary to evolve into the next civilization-building species. An octopus garden could be a real thing. Let's see. Professors at Oxford, blah, 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 said their dexterity, curiosity, ability to communicate with each other, and supreme intelligence means that they can create complex tools and to build a vast Atlantis-like civilization underwater. An octopus Atlantis. Come on. Let's see here. The cephalopods, I guess that's what we're calling them. Smart people call them cephalopods. The professor said that predators, which can breathe, the professor said the predators, they're predators, cephalopods, octopuses, octopusi. The professor said the predators, which can breathe for 30 minutes out of water, could, over millions of years, develop their own methods of hunting on land in much the same way humans have done at sea. That is, God, I wish I was high. That is like such a cool high thought to be like, oh, close it. Thought experiment. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go blank. Why is, oh, what's going on with the screen? I didn't realize the screen went black behind me and now my camera's all fucked up. Ugh, jeez Louise. Hold on, guys. All right, that one will be better. Why did my stupid flag go away? We're coming to America. Hi, Al. Al says he's super late. That's okay. Where we go? What do we do? We're going to do a flag? Yeah, we'll go back to the flag. Open the YouTube mobile app and stop it. I don't want to do that. Oh, now they're going to make us watch a video for 57 seconds. What's with YouTube? Really turning the screws, huh? Oh, stop it. I don't want to stop it. All right. All right, let's keep going. All right, so but seriously, dude, octopus hunting on land, what does that look like? Seriously, what does that look like? Like, because they got to be in water, so are they in a tank? And the tank is like, and are there any creatures on the land left that the octopus are now utilizing the way we use? Well, what do we use? We don't really use fish for anything. Dolphins. I guess the military trains dolphins. So, okay. So, like, oh, man, this is such a wild. Is this done? 46 seconds. What? I had it on pause. That's no good. All right, let's keep going, folks. Let's see. What else do we have here? We got more stuff to talk about. All right, so we got to the whole octopus are next. They're taking over. It's going to be a million years. Long road, octopi, but you'll get there. Big announcement. Conan O'Brien has been named the host of the Oscars this year. Conan O'Brien. Who was it last year? Like Jimmy Kimmel or something? I don't know. No, I don't mean that for Jimmy Kimmel. I like Jimmy Kimmel. I got no problem with him. I love Conan O'Brien, though. Why does this keep stopping? Look at that. All right. Do I got to just stare at this thing for the next 32 seconds so I can get back to my beautiful American flag background? 27. Seriously, though, YouTube usually doesn't make me do these super long ones. Oh, I learned a trick for these super long, skipping these videos. My son showed it to me. But now it's too late. I can't utilize it. Still giving me 5 seconds? Why is it paused? Just skip this in 5 seconds. Let's go. YouTube's acting weird. Skip. No. Why is the flag? All right, we're going to reverse the flag. We've got to have our flag. Oh, that's going to be fun. We'll just leave it there. All right. Sorry about that. Happy Friday. I'm very excited. It's boys' weekend. It's me and my kid. We're going to have the whole weekend. I think we're going to hook up with the Cirillo boys. I think we're going to go. Here's the deal. So I'm picking up the kid today. We'll drag him back down here to the house. And we're going to watch the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight tonight. Very excited about that. And then we got a big UFC fight tomorrow. I think we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. Big boys weekend. Buffalo Wild Wings. I can take a 15-year-old to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch a fight, right? I think I can. I feel like I've seen kids at Buffalo Wild Wings before. All right, let's keep moving. Conan O'Brien, he's going to host the Oscars. That's awesome because Conan O'Brien is awesome. He's just, I got to tell you, I always brag about how one of my main focuses with my son is, I'm in charge of his cultural education. I want him to know all the things that are important for him to know. You know what I mean? He's 15 years old. He's seen Citizen Kane, right? Okay. He understands who the Beatles are. He understands Led Zeppelin. He knows Prince. He knows Spielberg movies and Scorsese and all that stuff. He's seen The Godfather. I'm in charge of his cultural education. I want him to be an adult who can have conversations with people about culturally relevant things, and especially those things that happened before him. So, comedy dudes, a lot of comedy dudes I force on my now 15-year-old son. Conan O'Brien was somebody that he discovered on his own. Conan O'Brien wasn't somebody that I was even thinking that I would introduce him to, but he came to me once and he was watching a YouTube video, and I said, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "This guy's hysterical. Do you know this guy?" And I'm like, "Conan O'Brien?" I go, "Yeah, I think I do know Conan O'Brien. You like him?" He's like, "Oh, Dad." And then I introduced him to all of the old Conan O'Brien sketches from the 1990s. Many of my friend Brian McCann wrote and performed in. And we laughed. My son, 15 years old, loves Conan O'Brien. So look at that. There you go. Maybe there is some relevance. The Oscars have decided to bring in Conan O'Brien. Oh, you know how we discovered him? Apparently, Conan O'Brien's got an HBO show and a Max show, a travel show, where Conan O'Brien just travels the world and screws with people. And that's how my 15-year-old son discovered it. He's like, "I don't know. I was just watching it and it came on. He was really funny." And then I decided, and he watched all of them. He like binged all 10 episodes. Conan O'Brien is hosting the Oscars this year. Kid Rock and Nickelback are going on tour. That's right. Good for you, right? It's going to be the world's largest gathering of dads who are late on child support. That's right. I think this is one of them scams. You know, the FBI or whoever, they do those scams where they send people notes that say, "Hey, you've just won a free flat screen TV. Come pick it up at the airport Hilton." And then like 50 people show up for their free TVs. And really, it's just the FBI going, "All of you have warrants and we couldn't find you." Those are great. I love when they do that. That's kind of what you could do with a Kid Rock Nickelback concert. You could just like, if you got a bunch of deadbeat dads in an area, you could set up all the child support people, and there you go. Anyway, yeah, Kid Rock and Nickelback are going out on tour. So enjoy. That'll be fun. I would go to that. I'm being honest. Totally. I would totally go to that. What's it say here? Kid Rock and Canadian hard rock act Nickelback, they'll be sharing the top of the bill for a traveling festival called Rock the Country. Described by the fest organizers as a movement, a gathering of hardworking, God-fearing patriots who love America. I'm telling you, Nickelback's coming back. I've seen Chad Kroger's penis. I don't know if you were listening earlier. Nickelback's coming back. Nickelback is going to have the last laugh. They had the last laugh. Because they are not the worst band of all time. And that's become the default setting. "Oh, Nick, what do you probably like Nickelback?" Like that's supposed to mean that you have no taste. And that's totally unfair. Nickelback isn't great. Nickelback is fine. Nickelback is wildly successful. More successful than 95% of other bands out there. Yeah. Only 5% of bands become famous, have hits. 95 are out there playing at your down the street pizza pub tonight, right? So don't shit on Nickelback. They're the worst. No, they're not. There's a lot of really bad bands. Every member of Nickelback can play their instrument and play their instrument well. They're all like studio musicians, and you're like sitting around going, "They suck." What they can do, or what they have done, which is why they are worthy of derision, is that they seem to have a formula for writing hit songs. And quite frankly, if you have a formula for printing money, why would you stop? Nickelback, all their songs are the same thing. Yeah, their songs are all the same thing, and all of them charted. All of them charted. All of them drive Lamborghinis. So please, stop it with your Nickelback sucks. Kid Rock does, in fact, suck, though. Kid Rock is a joke. He's a novelty act. He's a one-hit guy. I admit that Bow with a Bow song that makes me want to break things. It's a fun song. I like it. But Kid Rock is not a great entertainer. Nickelback is way better than Kid Rock. Nickelback will go up there and they'll play 8 songs that you'll be like, oh, yeah. And then Kid Rock will go up there. They'll play 1 or 2 songs that you know. And then like 4 songs that you've probably heard your dirtbag uncle listening to. But let's see. That's not all. The traveling band or the traveling tour term will unsurprisingly feature a slew of other acts. Okay, so here's who else you're going to get to see. I got to be honest, I'm okay with this. I would go to this. This sounds like a day. What are these tickets going to be? If these tickets are like $40, I'd be like, yeah, dude, $40. We could do that. So you got Kid Rock, Nickelback, and Hank Williams Jr. right there. Those 3. I'm showing up for those 3. Let's go. Then you got Skinnered. Okay, so it's like whatever this modern Skinnered is, you get them. You get Travis Tritt. I'll pass. I'll pass on Travis Tritt. You got Gavin Adcock. I'm going to pass on. I don't even know who that is. Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners. Aaron Lewis used to be in Stained, was it? I'm going to pass on that one. Somebody named Tracy Lawrence. I'm going to pass on that one, too. Excuse me, guys. Pardon me. Excuse me. I'm just here for Kid Rock, Nickelback, and Hank. Excuse me. Treaty Oak Revival. I don't. Big and Rich. I know who they are, but I am not. No, I'm good. They do cartoon country music. Big and Rich, cartoon country. That's my friend who's a country music DJ calls it. Ella Langley. I don't know who that is. You're also going to get to see Upchurch. Old 60. Joe D. Messina. All right, I've heard of her. I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she's good or bad. I'll check her out because I've heard her name. Joe D. Messina. Hedson Westbrook. I don't know who that is. Logan Crosby. I don't know who that is. Little Texas. Ain't nothing little about Texas, my friend. And then 2 bands called Them Dirty Roses and the Kentucky Headhunters. Kentucky Headhunters, I know. All right. What else? The festival will also feature a throwback happy hour featuring Diamond Rio, Shenandoah, Mark Chestnut, Lee Greenwood, Sammy Kershaw, Neil McCoy, and Deanna Carter in what may be the biggest divergence from the rest of the bill. There will be some house party sets by Afro Man, Ying Yang Twins. Oh, get out of here. Yeah, this is nuts. All right, that's nuts. Whatever. They're just so good. Good for them. You know what? This is the kind of unifying American concert we need. We need to throw everything at the wall. Let's go ahead. Kid Rock to Afro Man. Well, those kind of work because they're both from the same time period. I don't know. Whatever. I want to be backstage when Hank Williams Jr. and the Ying Yang Twins are in the same very tight space. All right, there you go. That's Kid Rock Nickelback tour coming to a terrible concert venue near you this year. What else do we have? Tyson Paul fight. Let's talk a little bit about that. Okay, the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Is that his name? Is that what we're going with? Jake Paul? Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight is set for tonight, 7 o'clock on Netflix. All you need is Netflix. You got Netflix. The fight's going to be on 7 o'clock. No idea about undercard. Not a clue. I don't know what the hell they're going to be trotting out. I don't know if it's 7 o'clock, it's going to be Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, or if they're going to make us wait till like 9 o'clock the way these things often do. Whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know how to feel about this fight. Mike Tyson is one of the most devastating boxers I've ever seen. And I had a front row seat, being Gen X, the age that I am. I had a front row seat for what Mike Tyson was when Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson. That memory is not going anywhere. I know who that dude is. Or maybe I should say I know who that dude was. I don't know. 58-year-old. He's like a 60-year-old man, dude. He couldn't fight last time. Like they were supposed to fight in July because, on July 20th at AT&T Stadium. He canceled it. Ajida. I don't know. I'm not feeling good. I don't know why he canceled it. Ulcer, something like that, right? So 58-year-old Mike Tyson, the greatest heavyweight, the most devastatingly frightening heavyweight fighter of all time, is going to step into the ring tonight at 58 years old against 28-year-old Logan, Jake Paul, whoever. He's one of these guys. One of them, doesn't matter. Jake Paul is a YouTuber turned businessman turned celebrity. I won't even say internet celebrity. He's not an internet celebrity. Jake Paul, like it or not, is an A-list celebrity. No, he's just internet famous. Yeah, internet famous is famous now. It's like the apex of fame. Dude's Brad Pitt's famous. I bet you Jake Paul can buy and sell Brad Pitt 10 times over. That's the difference in like level of influence. So Jake Paul's a legit dude. 4 years ago or so, he decided he wanted to start boxing, and he took it very seriously. He hired the greatest boxing coaches there are. He dedicated himself full time. He took on a bunch of fights. He's been fighting and fighting and fighting for 4 years. It's been his job for 4 years. Jake Paul's a fighter. He's a real fighter. You don't just get to go back. I mean, that's like looking at Mike Tyson and going, he's not a fighter. He's a 12-year-old kid in Brooklyn. Well, a lot has changed since he was a 12-year-old kid in Brooklyn. Mike Tyson became a fighter. Jake Paul became a fighter. So it's a real thing. It's a 20. And before we even talk about this, you look at Jake Paul. I'm looking at Jake Paul. Jake Paul's an athlete. You can tell he's an athlete. You can tell he's a tough dude. He ain't a pussy. He might be irritating, and it's like, oh, I fucking hate this guy. Oh, I want him to just go away. All of those things are acceptable reactions to Jake Paul. He's not a pussy. He's a big dude. He's a big, yoked, ripped dude who is in the prime of his athletic conditioning, and he's been fighting regularly, and he's going to take on a 58-year-old man who ain't fought legitimately since 2004. That was his last real fight. He danced around for a paycheck with Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition fight a couple of years ago, but that wasn't real. And that brings us to, what is this Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight tonight? I don't know. Is it real? Could it be fake? Could it be scripted? They're betting on it. There's big betting markets on this fight. Texas State Athletic Commission is involved. However, there are some things about this fight that do not meet the standards of what would be a typical professional boxing match. First and foremost, 2-minute rounds. 8 2-minute rounds. It's supposed to be 3-minute rounds. It's supposed to be 12 3-minute rounds. They're going 8 2-minute rounds. Okay? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. 8 2-minute rounds. I imagine the 2-minute rounds are because of Mike Tyson's age. They want to try and keep him fresh. Don't want him to have to go that long. 2-minute rounds aren't going to be a problem for Jake Paul. Jake Paul is going to be able to step to the center of this ring, and if he's allowed to, he can just furiously drop bombs to Tyson's body for 2 minutes straight. He's an athlete. He's a young man. He's in the prime of his physical condition. He could hurt Mike Tyson. He could hurt a 60-year-old man. Okay, so we've got 8 2-minute rounds. That's bullshit. That's not a real boxing match. Also, they're using 14-ounce gloves. 14-ounce gloves are a problem for me. I hate 14-ounce gloves. 14-ounce gloves are typically the gloves that are used in charity foxy boxing or, shit like that. There are going to be no knockouts. Nobody's knocking anybody out with 14-ounce gloves. Man, I mean, look, Tyson, right? Mike Tyson, we don't know what kind of power he's still got at 58. I don't know. Could he catch him clean and quick early with an uppercut and put Paul to sleep with superior boxing strategy? Yes, he could. But these are 14-ounce gloves. We are probably not looking at a knockout, no matter how much we want to see a knockout. They're big balloon gloves. What else? 8 2-minute rounds, 14-ounce gloves. The bets. Okay, so what are the bets? The betting favorite. The favorite is Paul. I think Paul is a 200, minus 200, something like that. 190 maybe. I don't know. You check, it's probably fluctuating. But some of the bets, some of the prop bets, some of the off-brand bets that are going on here are interesting. Like the most popular prop bet that is being wagered on the fight tonight is Mike Tyson to knock out Jake Paul in the first round. That's number one. Number one, Mike Tyson, fluke of all flukes, puncher's chance, catches him in the first round, what I just described, and Mike Tyson wins in the first round by knockout, drops him. Just, and maybe in that moment we could all go, oh, so I guess there is a difference between someone of the level of Mike Tyson and a dude who just really wants to be a boxer and works really hard. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. So that's number one. Number one is Tyson to knock out Paul in the first round. The number two most popular prop bet, and this is because of the 14-ounce gloves. The number two most popular prop bet is Mike Tyson in a decision. Mike Tyson in a decision. So nobody knocks anybody out because of the 14-ounce gloves in 2 rounds, right? So nobody knocks each other out. Tyson wins in a decision. Number three, the third most popular prop bet is that the Jake Paul knocks out Tyson in the first round. Yeah, I think that's the third most popular prop bet. Now, consistently, the money has been on Tyson. The money. What do you call that? Dumb money, weak money, soft money, whatever. The money, the big money that has been coming in. Not the big money, sorry, then. The money that has been coming in overwhelmingly, $5 bets, $10 bets, $20 bets, it's all on Tyson. The great unwashed, the peasants, we've spoken. We're putting all of our money on Tyson. Big Tyson. Remember now, bookmakers still got Paul as the favorite. A pretty significant favorite, too. But here's something that needs to be mentioned about the money that's being placed on Mike Tyson. Yes, all the $5, $10, $20 bets are being placed on Mike Tyson. But the whale bets, the 6-figure and up bets, okay? Those are all being put on Paul. All the biggest bets are on Paul. So that kind of tells you that the real gamblers, the real gamblers, they're gonna go Paul. And then all the dumb guys like you and me, we're like, I'll put $20 on Tyson to knock him out. Because I remember Tyson. Guys. No idea what we're going to be looking at tonight. I really don't. My kid's like, Dad, what do you think? I'm like, I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I am younger than Mike Tyson by a couple of years. Now, granted, I am a doughy garbage can, and Mike Tyson looks pretty good. He looks pretty, but I just, man, sometimes I injure myself, changing position while sleeping. So I just don't know how Mike Tyson's going to do it. Here, let's look at a little bit of video here. We got some video from yesterday. Mike Tyson apparently smacked. Did you see him? He smacked Jake Paul in the face at their stare down. Ugh. I don't know if this thing is fair. I don't know why. I don't know. Let's see. Here you go. Here's the stare down. Tyson with a little bitch slap. Jake Paul. You see the size difference, man? If there is also a speed, if there's a speed difference, man, this could be bad for Mike. There's a big size difference. Jake Paul's a lot bigger. Ugh. Anyway, here we go. Let's watch this. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Watch that again. It happens quick. I will say it's a real slap. It's a real slap. The way his head, look at Paul's head, the way his neck goes, it's a real slap. Like, he's not pulling back. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to smack you in the face. I'm going to slap you right across the face. It's a real slap. It levels, not levels, but it wobbles. It wobbles a very large and physically fit Jake Paul. Watch how he wobbles. It's a big, he connects.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Now he's doing the thing that you always do when somebody hurts you, and that is you immediately tell them that you didn't hurt me. You didn't hurt me. You didn't. Well, bells are ringing and you're seeing stars. You didn't hurt me. I didn't feel it. Yeah, no, he definitely felt that. That was a real slap.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you didn't hurt me. Okay, there you have it. Look at them selling the fight tonight on Netflix. How about a little bit from Jake Paul? This is Jake Paul. He's with Ariel Helwani. I love Ariel Helwani. I think it's way beneath him to be a part of this. Ariel Helwani is probably the most respected journalistic voice in the mixed martial arts world. Imagine a Bob Costas of the mixed martial arts world, if you could. That's Ariel Helwani. I hate that he's involved in this nonsense. But here he is. Hold on. Let's see. This is Jake Paul after being slapped by Mike Tyson. Let's see what he had to say about that. Tyson, for his part, he turned and I guess walked away. But here you go. Ariel Helwani and Jake Paul after being slapped in the stare down by Mike Tyson.
I didn't even feel it. He's angry. He's an angry little elf. Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the fuck out. I'm fucking him up, Ariel. I'm fucking him up. He hits like a bitch. It's personal now. He must die. I didn't even feel it.
All right, there you have it. That's Jake Paul. I mean, look, you know what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting to see Tyson tune this punk up. That's what I'm tuning in for. I don't have any expectation of that. I really don't. It's not, I mean, my expectation, okay, so if years and years of tuning in for these kinds of things have taught me anything, at the end of it, we're going to be very disappointed. It's what many of us will be going, I can't believe we tuned in for that. At least we don't have to say, I can't believe we paid for that. We don't have to do that. I don't know. What is the prediction? The prediction is a pick 'em. Whatever you want. I don't know. I am tuning in out of pure curiosity and almost zero fan or rooting interest. I just want to see what this looks like. And again, my hope is that Tyson wins because I'm going to ask my son what my son knows about Mike Tyson. Because my son is a big combat sports guy because he's been training jiu-jitsu his whole life and all that stuff. So he's really tuned into that kind of stuff and the discipline of it and all of that. But I'm going to ask him, what do you know about Mike Tyson? Like, I wonder if he even knows that Mike Tyson went to prison, or has Mike Tyson's reputation as being a badass kind of turned him into, I don't know, what Evel Knievel was to my generation, right? All right. Anyway, well, I didn't know Evel Knievel went to prison either until I was an adult. And then I found out what a piece of shit Evel Knievel actually was. Yeah, Evel Knievel used to beat up women and stuff like that. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, yeah, the other big fight tomorrow night. Not tonight, but tomorrow night. Tyson Paul is tonight. And tomorrow night is a big UFC fight. I think me and the boy, we're going to be heading to Buffalo Wild Wings, maybe. I don't know. If you guys follow me and you want to hang out with us, you can come. Follow me on Twitter, Pugs & Co., Pugs Moran on Twitter, or whatever. I'll put it on Twitter. I'll put it on Facebook, wherever it is we're going to go. We might head out with the Cerullos as well. Not sure. Don't exactly know what the plan is, but my kid definitely wants to watch the return of Johnny Bones Jones and Stipe Miocic. It's going to be a good fight. This is a really good fight. Those of you who know me know I used to be a big UFC fan. I've kind of lost interest in it. I don't like the way the sport has evolved into the rules. Everybody goes to try and win on points. I don't like that. It's gotten boring. But there are a couple of fighters who I will tune in to watch every time they fight. And two of them are stepping into the ring against each other tomorrow night. Stipe Miocic, the former heavyweight champion, against Johnny Bones Jones, who I would argue is the greatest fighter the good Lord has ever created. So I'm very interested in that fight. And so is my son. So we're thinking about going to Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. Not sure which location. That's why you need to follow me, Pugs Moran on Facebook or Twitter. I'll definitely be posting tomorrow as we figure out where it is that we're going to go. I believe. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see these locations. Because I know there's one on Lemon, and I know there's one on, and I think there's also one on Greenville, right? But I don't know which one would be the best one to go to. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, maybe there's not one on Greenville. I thought there was. We might have to go to the one on is there a Buffalo Wild Wings on Greenville? I really thought there was a Buffalo Wild Wings on Greenville. Hold on. Okay, that's the one on Lemon. There's one on Lemon. There's one on Harry Hines. We ain't going to that one. We ain't going that. Yeah, it looks like probably the one on Lemon. All right, that's what it's looking at. All right, so if any of y'all want to come out and watch the fight with us, we'll probably be doing that tomorrow night. I don't know. Like I said, I'll update you on the Twitter and on the Facebook. Other than that, thank you so much to our executive producer of today's show, the lovely Leslie. She's always stepping up when we need it most. Thank you to her. If you want to be the executive producer on Monday's show and take Leslie's hat, all you got to be is the big tipper from today. We'll see who that was, and then we'll anoint a new executive producer. Caramel apple. Oh, anyway, I love caramel apples. There was a breaking caramel apple story that was on the news feed that I was looking at. And Big Tipper becomes the exec producer on Monday. Have a good weekend. It's a very depressing weekend of football, so we're going to be channeling all of our energies into rage-watching fights tonight and tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. RadioMisfits.com, and be back here tomorrow, or be back here on Monday. I'm Pugs Moran. We're out. I'm trying to stretch it, because, see, I see that's only 1:58, and I like to promise you 2 hours. I guess we're going to fall short. Have a good weekend.